What's up, gang? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? The game just ended. I'll give it another minute or two. We're a couple minutes early. Backstage, I did not see the message for the thumbnail, but after the live stream, I'll change it to your thumbnail. So I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Who else we got here? Christopher Woods in the house. Sports Time Machines here. What's happening, man? Michael Shin. What's happening, bud? We are a couple minutes early. Simply Fog. What's going on, everybody? Wait a few minutes. How you guys doing, by the way? Hope you all had a good week. Yankees did lose 11-3 tonight to the Blue Jays, but again, you know, they didn't have all their heavy hitters in there. You know, obviously, I mean, they started Manny Banuelos, who was an oldie but a goodie. Prospect and came back. He's trying to resurrect himself. He actually pitched well, and I'll go over it in a minute. Aaron Sachs, what's happened, bud? Daily Dose is in the house. Yeah, don't worry about it, Daily Dose. He very rarely touches 100 during spring training, and they're also taking a longer build-up with him. They're going to try him in a different situation, so I'm not too worried about that. He tends to hit 100 when the weather, or not weather, he's already in warm weather, but like in May and starting further on. So I wouldn't worry about it, bud. Fritz is in the house. Big boy. What's good, man? Yeah. Yeah, we're not. I mean, there was some sloppy play, Fritz, and Big Boy definitely. Hirsch is in the house. Yankee by nature. What's happening? The realist. I love it. What's going on, my man? I love you too, man. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Marinaccio. Yeah, I mean, he came in and bailed out. Who did he bail out? Ryan Weber, right? No, not JP Sears. Excuse me. He bailed out JP Sears. I'll go over the box score in a second. Tyler Talbot's in the house. Sean. Yeah, it was a tough loss, man. You know, all that stuff, man. You two backstage. Have a great night. Get your rest, man. And I hope I'll see you on Saturday night, dude. Lungs in the house. What's good, man? How you doing? Banuelos. Yeah, I mean, I'll go over it now. And Manny Banuelos, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Clean. JP Sears came in, one of the more highly touted prospects. He had his first rough outing of the spring. 1.2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 runs, 1 strikeout. And then he came out, was bailed out by Ron Marinaccio. 1 hit, 1 strike, and one third of an innings pitched, struck out the only guy he faced. Then Aroldis Chapman came in, threw a scoreless inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Ryan Weber came in, 2 1/3 innings pitched. He got touched up a little bit too, 5 hits and 5 runs, with 4 strikeouts. And then Carlos Espinal came in, got hit a little bit too, 0.2 innings, or 2/3 of an innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 strikeout. And then Matt Gage came in and 3 innings pitched, clean. Oh, no, excuse me, Matt Gage on the Toronto side. He closed them out. Espinal was the last guy who for the Yankees. So the Blue Jays, on the other hand, Nick Algayer started the game, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 strikeout. Trent Thornton came in, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. Yimi Garcia, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Taylor Salcedo, 1 2/3 with 3 Ks. And Anthony Castro, 1 1/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts. And then Matt Gage came in with a clean 9th. So that's kind of how it panned out. On the offensive side for the Yankees, Josh Donaldson hit an RBI double in the 3rd. He looks pretty solid. And Max Burt, again, who hit a grand slam yesterday, hit a 2-run shot today to make it 8-3 and to give them their last 2 runs. This kid's got a bat. And I don't know if you noticed it, but when his stats came out, his 21 stats, single A, double A. He went all the way from single A up to triple A in 1 season. So I would keep an eye out on his bat. And I'm going to pay more attention to him too. He's a good looking right-handed hitter. Toronto, Kevin Biggio, an RBI sac fly, made it 1-1. Espinal, 3-run home run to make it 4-1 in the 4th. Gurriel, RBI single in the 5th to make it 5-1. Nathan Lukes, solo home run to make it 6-1 off of Ryan Weber. And De Los Santos came in with a 2-run single to make it 8-1. Taylor with an RBI single to make it 9-3 in the 9th. Morris, RBI ground out, make it 10-3. And Deglin, an RBI double to make it 11-3. That's the offensive box score on both sides. So the Yankees clearly got out ahead. Again, they didn't have their big guns in there. And guys are starting to wind down. We pretty much know what most of the starters are going to be, or all the starters are going to be, with the exception of what they're going to do with Gleyber Torres and DJ, whether they're going to sit one and bench one the other one, or play the other one, depending on the type of pitcher. We don't know yet. So, but we'll see. But Max Burt, he does look good. He'll probably start him in AAA. Ronald Guzman, I'm thinking they're going to probably start him in AAA too, because of the fact they've got DJ playing super utility, and Marwin Gonzalez was very likely going to make the team. Did Hal learn in business school that you always sell stock high? Now is the time to trade Torres. I'm thinking, Hirsch. I'm thinking they caught him. He's coming to he's rising from the dip right now. When the stock was at its high and it dumps down about 30-40%, and then it starts to rise again. He's kind of cresting that dip right now. Gleyber Torres. I'm thinking I'm going to try and sell him high because he's not at his pinnacle, but his value is going up. So you do make a good point. So outfield, I'm worried about Hicks. I just don't. I worry he's going to get hurt. But I think that's why they got Marwin. I think Ender Inciarte is probably going to wind up making the team too. So I'm thinking they'll have some protection in the outfield as well. So those two guys have playoff experience. They're good. They bring that edge and that feistiness to the team that like guys like Josh Donaldson and Garrett Cole have. There's not a lot of them on the team that at least show it. Those guys do. So I like that. Manny was solid. Manny's looking much better than he did for a while. So he was in Taiwan the last couple of years. And yeah, I saw that too, Michael, that bad call from the ump. Benching DJ makes, I don't disagree at all. I don't disagree at all. He's just a better overall player. He's a better, definitely, more versatile player. He's a better defender in the field. Torres is obviously on a high with his hitting. So if he keeps moving that way, my guess is he might be a piece to be moved for pitching. Yeah, Rizzo's not doing that great right now. But again, it's spring. People are just getting themselves into a groove as well. Brackman and Batanz is not available. I know, Hirsch. I know. Well, who's your four? Because I think this with 28 players, I think there's going to be 9 position players and 15 pitchers, I think, to make it 24, and then 4 players on the bench. Who are your picks to be the bench? Who do you think are going to make the team up to the Bronx? Give me some insight, guys and gals. Let me see what you think here. Serge's in the house. Eric, what's good, everybody? John Doe, Chris Schmidt. What's happening, guys? 100 million at the DJ's got. Yeah, I don't disagree, Ishmael. I don't disagree at all. Tyler Talbot, Ender Inciarte or LeCastro. Yeah, I agree. Makes the team. I'm not sure which one. Inciarte is a little bit ahead right now but LeCastro's he's one of the fastest guys in baseball, so you can't overlook him. Severino should not be. I don't think it is a good idea to make him the number 2 guy right now. I don't think it's a good idea, even though he had some shoulder issues, some shoulder tightness and soreness. He had a bullpen today. Seemed to come out of it fine. He's scheduled to pitch on Saturday. Cole's scheduled to pitch on Friday in their last kind of runaround before opening day next week. But I worry. That's why I still think it would be wise to go try to get one of those A starters or Kyle Hendricks or somebody to plug in there. We need another reliable pitcher because right now, to me, Jordan Montgomery's the number 2. He's the most consistent, reliable guy, with the exception of Garrett Cole. So. Ben Wellis might at some point make, long relief or something like that. And he's kind of reminded me of Nestor Cortez, just a savvy, slick arm. They're not power arms or anything, but they can get dudes out. So having 2 of those over 1, not a bad thing. Simply Fog, thanks so much for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Clint Frazier's been great with the Cubs. Thanks, Yanks. Yeah, spring training, I wouldn't put too much weight in spring training, Simply Fog. But yeah, he's doing pretty well over there. He is. Gonzalez, Marwin, Timmy LeCastro, Wordvet, bench. Yep, I can see that. Wordvet's significantly better now. He's almost back from his rehab. So get Kyle Hendricks now. I don't disagree, Muskie Hunter. I think he would be a good fit. Andujar, Gonzalez, Inciarte, and LeMahieu. No catcher there, Chris Schmidt. We only have Higashioka right now. We need a second catcher. Second catcher is usually on the bench. But those are not 4 bad guys here. So yeah, it's just I worry about Severino. He's best fit in the bullpen as a long relief guy right now. I think Andujar gets moved. Andujar for they'll move like a little under $2 million off the payroll and then get him for a decent prospect. That's my guess. Hirsch, Manny B he looked fantastic. Looks more confident. So does Davey Garcia. So do Clark Schmidt. These guys look like the Matt Blake effect has been kind of taking effect now, and they're starting to figure out things that might work. And their confidence is up, their posture is up. So it's good to see. So I like it. Suzuki finally say, oh, okay, cool. Very nice. Yeah, Johnny Cueto, I'm not even sure he can handle number 2 at this point. I mean, he'll just be I wouldn't get him before Kyle Hendricks. I'll put it that way. So, yeah, I don't think Kyle Hendricks. He'll be surrounded by a much better rotation here, and he was expected to be the top guy in Chicago, and I don't think that's. He's not a number 1. He's not a number 1. No. Brantley will be the backup if Workvet is healthy. Isn't it? Yes, exactly. Yes, he will, Christopher. I don't think Cashman's done making moves. I think he's got one more move in him. And that move, I don't think is going to be extending Judge. I mean, I still think the hunt for a starting pitcher is still there. So I hope that it happens. So Torres, yeah, I mean, this is the flashes of this laziness. For Torres, that's one of the things that worry me. He's got a world of talent, but the laziness somehow overshadows a lot of that talent sometimes. So I agree with you, Michael. Andujar likely traded. And again, they're not going to get a haul for him, but I don't think they're expecting to get a haul from him either. So, Inciarte, Worthvet, Marwin, Hicks is the bench. Yeah, probably. If Hicks isn't starting in center, probably. So, if Hicks does start in center, then I have Gallo in left, Judge in right, and Stanton DHing, or some combination of that. So, Toronto got a lot of hits. Yeah, they did. A lot of young kids who are hitting too. Just like the Yankees have a lot of people in the farm that are, not only still in camp, but they're still hitting the ball pretty well. This kid Max Bird, I haven't heard about him since yesterday. He's got a good-looking bat, man. He does. Yeah, the Cardinals, man. 29 runs today. Freaking nuts. They won 29-8. It's a football score. Yeah. It's really nuts. There were some botch plays today, yeah. I would agree with that, Michael. Good time to watch Cubs versus Yanks. Yeah, I don't. Do they play them this year at Yankee Stadium, Simply Fog? All right, Joey and Nelly, what's good? What's cooking, man? What's cooking? Donaldson. Yeah, playing the game, and then he watched the rest sitting right next to Aaron Boone. They were talking baseball and whatever else they were talking. So I think he's going to be a good addition to this team. Looking like the A's won't trade Mandea. Yeah. I'm losing confidence in that, but I think they're waiting to be bowled over by somebody, Tyler. So I'm with you there. Jays are stacked, yes. They are stacked. There's no doubt about that. Torres straight up for Wilson Contreras. Who says no? The Yankees might say no. Only because of 3 years of Torres versus 1 year of Contreras. My guess, but I could be wrong there, Hirsch. I could be wrong. You think we got a real chance at the A's pitchers? I think it's under 50% now. Cashman won't invest, I fear. It's not necessarily Cashman. It's Hal. Cashman admitted yesterday that Hal kind of hamstrung his ability to make the big moves this offseason. He said he openly admitted it in an interview yesterday. Hal kind of put the purse strings on him a little bit. Even though they've had their highest payroll that they've ever had, he still limited his ability to do some of the bigger stuff. So it's not necessarily all Cashman. Donaldson. I like Donaldson too. I think Donaldson is going to be a good fit here. I consider moving Albert Abreu. Ben Wells has better stuff than Cortez. Cortez is more proven. Man Ban looks like Man Ban. Yeah, he looks good, Manny Ben Wells, right now. He used to be the number 1 prospect for the Yankees. Just like Davey Garcia a couple years ago was the number 1 prospect, and Schmidt was the number 2. I mean, it was essentially the Yankees, Volpe and Peraza now. So and it's good to see them actually back in the fold. So I hope it pans out. I mean, Schmidt has more upside with his nasty arsenal, but Davey looks like he could be. He could do something, and I was not saying that at all last year for either one of them. So I'm pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I think it might be in Wrigley Field, Tyler, that they play the Cubs. And Hal does have the final, so yes, he does. Cards battered Nationals. Yeah, man. Yeah. that was an ass kicking tonight. Donson's telling Boone not to be a Cub. He could be, big boy. He could be, man. Cubs play the Yanks. Yankee Stadium, June 10th. No, June 10th. Perfect. Yankee Stadium, nice. June 10th to the 12th. The Yankees, disgruntled YouTuber, I'm with you there. The Yankees have not done a good job at developing starting pitchers for the last I mean, decade. They haven't really. I mean, they've done a much better job of developing position players and relievers. They've been terrible at and terrible developing starting pitchers and catchers. And that's one of the reasons I keep saying they need to draft catchers more often and develop them more often. Build some kind of pipeline like they have at shortstop, like they have in outfield now. They need to do the same thing with catchers. Best Yankees infield has DJ at second. Outfield has DJ guy. Yeah, I would agree with that, Joey and Nelly. I agree with that. Yeah, Stanton is pretty solid in the outfield, actually. And he plays better when he plays outfield a little bit more regularly, so. Montez trade gives Sweeney, Yoendris Gomez, Andujar, and Everson Pereira. That'd be a tough one, Chris, but that's probably representative of a good Montez trade. So that's actually not bad at all. Without giving up Peraza, Sweeney would be a tough one because I actually think he could profile well as a first baseman with that glove, but a future first baseman, but it could be like essentially a next Rizzo type guy, but that's probably a trade you'd have to make. The Rays are fantastic at developing players, simplified. I mean, outstanding at developing players. That's they're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball developing young players and continuing to do it. One of the best. Luis Hill and Luis Medina are both me. I hope so, Hirsch. I really do. I really, really do. Tyler, top prospect in 2022, Shelby Miller. 5 Jameson Taillon, 8 Garrett Cole, 11 Jesus Montero, 12 Manny Manuelos. Look at that, man. 13. Wow. Shelby Miller was 5th, Taillon was 8th, Cole 11th, Montero 12th, Manuel Manuelos. Look at that. The Yankees have all of them now, with the exception of Jesus Montero. That's crazy. I hate the train Sweeney, but yeah, I would hate to move him too. Hicks can't even see 2020. Yeah, I know. Hicks is talking about 30-30. That's pretty ambitious. I'll give him that. Rotation should be Cole, Monty, Banuelos, Hill, Taillon. Man, the way Banuelos is pitching, he's got a shot, big boy. If he keeps building that arm strength up, him and Nestor Cortez could be secret weapons on this team. They really could be. It could. And you could even put Davey and Schmidt in long relief or something like that. And then you'd have some serious firepower on the team. If they keep pitching the way they're pitching. And Garcia's, like, the last couple of years, he was at like 91, 92. Now he's at like 96. And Schmidt's at like 97, 98 velocity. So their arms are back. So that's encouraging to see. Yes, Hicks does have a great arm. He does have a fantastic throwing arm. I'll give him that. All Yankees. That's right, Tal. All Yankees at one point. Yep. Cubs don't want Torres. Yeah, I think the Cubs would probably want. I don't know who they would want. They would want a couple of prospects for like a Wilson Contreras. But I would go after Kyle Hendricks over Wilson Contreras at this point. Both of them's nice, but Kyle Hendricks would be my pick over Contreras. He just represents a bigger need right now. So too much infield. There's a lot of infield depth here, and that's not a bad thing. They haven't had this type of depth in a while. Dodgers are happy. Yeah, Heaney and his 3,000 ERA. Yeah, Peralta's another one, man. These guys are putting up numbers, man. 98 for Peralta. That's pretty dang good. Matt Blake can turn David. I hope so too. Disgruntled YouTuber. Javi Garcia and Clark Schmidt. I hope Matt Blake really, really resurrects them, and I hope Dylan Lawson does a good job with Gallo and Torres and some of these other guys. So I hope they blossom on both sides. Cole, Monty, Taillon, Cortez, and Melo/Gill. Yeah, probably more like it, Sean. Yeah. More like it. It's nice to see Jesse Chavez get things done. 4 strikeouts and 2 scoreless. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to see some of these things, man. It really is. Nah, Torres, no, he's definitely not a shortstop. So, Josh Bro, catching prospect for Kyle Hendricks, straight. I would do that, Michael Shin. Hendricks has 2 years left with an option for 2024. That's 3 controllable years at a reasonable prospect, at a reasonable contract. I'd be all over that. So, with Tyon and Sevy being free agents this year. Sevy actually has an option for 2023. And I think it's a team option, if I'm not mistaken, Christopher. So just keep that one in mind. But Tyon's a free agent. Yep. Yes, sir. Gallo has a good early part of the year. He might actually get. He might, yeah. If he plays well, yeah, he might be worthwhile extending, or he might be trade bait at the deadline too for a team that wants a big bat. If he's playing really well, the Yankees can get some serious prospect back for him. So it's worth looking at too. Cashman. Yeah, I agree, Alan. Get that freaking starting pitcher here. I mean, he really, really does. I mean, like, the way that it's currently constructed, Cole to me, and then Montgomery 2, probably Tyon 3 at this point. And then it's kind of up in the air. I mean, I want Nestor to continue to go into developing, and Hill. I want these guys to get a shot too. Severino, I think he's better off right now in long relief and let him build himself back up. We don't want to have constant. We don't have constant, issues or setbacks with Severino. So, is that better, Christopher Woods? The camera extending anyway. Yeah, I mean, at this point, Hershey, you're probably right. So, Jameson Tyon's a free agent after 2022. Yes. Yeah, sign with Tampa. That might happen. Everson Pereira and Josh Bro for Kyle Hendrickson. That is a trade you can make. Michael Shin. That's a solid trade. No doubt about it. It's a solid trade. Trade Gallo. Trade Gallo when his value is at an all-time high. If he comes out on fire and you trade him, you can get some stuff back for him. Most definitely. Cortez and Tiny. Yeah, and that's the thing, people. I mean, not much. They haven't pitched much. And they're expected to be in the rotation, though. The Cole deal, oh, yeah, it's been worth it already. Simply Fog. He'll be fine for another couple years. I mean, the back end might look a little not so nice, but we don't know. We really don't know. I think Cole will be fine for 7 more years. What else we got? If Cashman extends Gallo, shoot him to the. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the Judge extension is going to look like. So, how does the front office go? I think one of the first things they need to do, E. Brunson, is get another starting pitcher here. No, they need another starting pitcher. Marinaccio, I don't think he makes the team out of camp. If they're gonna add 2 pitchers, my guess is it might be Davey, maybe Davey and Schmidt. It might be. Those 2 extra roster spots are likely going to be pitchers, only just to give the starters more time to kind of build out their arm strength in their innings. Could be Manny Banuelos. Yeah, it could be Banuelos and Davey, Banuelos and Schmidt. Well, there's some options here. Was the game on the S app? I don't know. It was on the MLB TV app for me. Luden. What's happening, Luden? Chris Heffernan. I don't think Andujar has a position or really roster spot. I do see him being traded for something, a prospect or something. And obviously they'll clear almost $2 million off the books too. Not a ton, but just whatever prospect they can get for him. They got a number 8 prospect from San Diego for Voit. They might be able to get a decent prospect for Andujar too. Luis Hill. Yeah. Gallo's an elite fielder. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's got the best arm in the outfield. It's even better than Judge's arm. So, and Judge has a big arm. 7 years, 245 is probably my sweet spot number for Aaron Judge. An extension there. And I would be fine with Gil as a number 5. And I really would be. I mean, the way he's kind of progressing, as long as they, don't put too much pressure on the guy, and just let him go out there and pitch, I think he'll be fine. And like, don't do what they did last year. Call him up and then send him down when somebody's coming off a DL from a COVID DL, whatever DL. You don't send somebody down who's like red hot, and he was red hot, and it kind of threw off his momentum. He still, but it threw off his momentum. Yeah, and I think trading Andujar is inevitable, Christopher. I really do. With Marvin Gonzalez on here, yep. I think it's inevitable. I really do. And I don't expect a lot. I don't think anybody should, but it is what it is. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't hit those likes yet, please hit those likes. Let's get over 100 if we can. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Is Adam Warren? That's a good question, Arthur. Let me check really quickly here. Let's check. Thank you for hitting that like button. I appreciate it, guys. Adam Warren, pitcher. He's a free agent. He's not with anybody right now. They mic'd up Liam Hendricks and Lance Lynn. That would be nuts. Those guys are fun. 64 likes, approaching 100. Let's keep rocking and rolling, guys. I appreciate you. Conforto's value is definitely going. Yeah, I mean, Conforto's just he's gonna fall into somebody's lap. And I mean, personally, I think his best fit's probably the Cleveland Guardians. Another bat there to add to kind of give some protection around Jose Ramirez would be a wise move for them. It really would. Warren's a free agent, Chris, so he's not attached to any team right now. John Heyman breaking news the other day when Oakland wanted to keep their pitchers. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Matt. I'm really not surprised. At some point, at the trade deadline, somebody's going to become pretty desperate, especially if they feel they're one piece away and they will overpay. They would essentially pay more than they would pay now for these pitchers, which would be a net benefit for Oakland because they would keep one of these guys for half a season, enjoy the benefit of it, and then send them away for a year and a half and get a haul back in return. So it's a net benefit for Oakland, that's for sure. They're making some savvy trades, man. I got to give it to them. Them and Tampa Bay they always make savvy trades. So, yeah, our lineup is better, Fritz. There are some automatics, unfortunately, but the lineup is better. It's more balanced and it's more disciplined now. So I do expect, and we're working with Dylan Lawson, somebody's saying Hensley, Bam Bam. I think they're going to be better than people think they are. The lineup, I think, they can be really solid, provided they stay healthy. So I'm not worried about Cole either. Everybody takes a few games to kind of get their location and all that stuff. So I'm not really worried about him getting the field of pitches again. I'm surprised too that Conforto's a free agent. Guardians would be a good fit. The Rockies would be a good fit. A couple other teams would be a good fit for him. So he'll eventually get signed, but I'm shocked that he's not at this point. The entire spring training, ridiculous. Secondhand noise. I don't think either's worth $35 million a year, but that's what, unfortunately, the market is going to basically dictate that they get. That's what I should say. But I wouldn't give them $35 million a year each. No. Mafia ever showing two guys they better late than never. I feel if we can ever get either Ben Wellis and Schmidt or Hill and a Hurrier to help in any way would be huge. Yeah, I agree, Dominic. I agree. Some in-house in-house options are already here on the cheap. If they can really come in and contribute, that's fantastic. It's fantastic. So, Dav Clan, who are you talking about? Velocity isn't in the 98 100. Who are you referring to? Who are we talking about? I think Donaldson will be fine. A's are in the driver's seat. They're in a good position one way or another. So I appreciate that, Dav Clan. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate the support, brother. I really do. Sean, Luke, Moyo. Yes, they did simply fog. Yes, they did. Torres looks like a soccer. He kind of does. Maybe he'll be playing in the World Cup this summer. So. Cole, Cole's going to be all right. I'm not really worried about Cole. With Marwin on the team, there's no reason to have Gleyber play at shortstop anymore. You're 100% right on that. 100%. Edwin or Tim LeCastro? Edwin who? Sean. Talking about Ender? Inciarte? Tim LeCastro for speed, but Inciarte for his experience and route running and just his good contact hitting abilities. So he's a little bit of a better hitter than LeCastro. It would be nice to have both. It really would. No. Donaldson, I'm not worried about Donald Tim either. I hope the real chosen one of the Yankees are your second favorite team. Who's your first? take that they like Gary Sanchez. Yeah, it was unfortunately inevitable at some point. No. And they're in Ciarte. Yeah, I mean, I think Ciarte has the edge right now of LaCastro. I do. But LaCastro is lightning fast. And they do need to utilize their speed. They need to be more aggressive on the base pass. They need better contact hitting, better hit and run, situational hitting, manufacture more runs. They've been waiting for home runs every year for like the last several years at the expense of a lot of strikeouts and just poor situational hitting. And, they were 27 out of 30 last year, runners in scoring position. They need to change that. So more contact guys, just driving the ball in the gap, singles, doubles, keep manufacturing runs and keep putting more guys on base. Like, it'd be a good. I mean, to me personally, I think it's good. DJ, Donaldson, Rizzo, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, Glaber, Higgy, Kenneth Leffer. You give me starting lineup, Luden? I personally go. I start, table setter at the top. I'll go kind of for Leffer first, DJ second, Judge third, Donaldson fourth, Stanton fifth, Rizzo sixth, Gallo seventh. Center fielder eighth, catcher ninth, whoever center fielder is, whether it's Hicks or something like that. Eighth, and then the catcher ninth. So that's what I would kind of do. I want to have speed at the top of the lineup. I don't want to have to wait to go through the entire lineup to get some guys on base and to score runs. Because if you look at it that way, DJ, Donaldson, Rizzo, I mean, the first three runners for the most part there's not much speed there. So I like that. Personally, I like to have a table setter at the top. And DJ being a contact hitter, he can drive kind of for left in or over, and then let the big bats kind of manufacture some of the bigger runs. That's what I would do personally. But who knows what the starting lineup's actually going to be? Castillo's, I don't know, Schmidt, but he's out for a little bit, and it's a shoulder thing too, a rotator cuff thing. So I don't expect him, to be. I expect him to be eased back in slowly. Yeah, I mean, Sanchez was fun when we had it, but I'm glad he's gone too. We need more stability behind the plate in terms of calling games and stuff like that. And we have that now with Workbet and Gashioka, so we'll be fine. More hit and run, 100% situational hitting, man. Stealing bases, just being more aggressive on the base paths, and that's a big part of Dylan Lawson's philosophy. So, which is a good thing. I saw that Hunter Green May is going to be their number 2. It's good. Yeah, that is good. Haven't had much speed. Gardner was on there fast. Yeah, I mean, Gardner. Yeah, and at this point, I mean, it doesn't make sense to bring Gardner back at this point. When you have like Marwin, you have Ender, LaCastro. I understand the sentimental value, but the goal is to win more games. They need to get more diversified and more athletic and just younger and stuff. So, and LaCastro's faster than Gardner. Would I bat Marwin leadoff on? I mean, maybe. It depends on who they're facing, honestly. Maybe if Marwin's playing short instead of kind of Falefa or something like. Yeah, I mean, there's certain days I would bat Marwin leadoff. I think I would bat kind of Falefa most of the time leadoff if it were me, but I would plug in other guys too. Marwin would, probably get a spot there too. He'd most likely be between 6 and 9 in my opinion, but he could bat higher, especially if he keeps hitting well. So, and Richard Rodriguez, he hasn't actually. He did sign, right? Richard Rodriguez, or did he not sign? Let's see. I don't remember. Richard Rodriguez. He's still a free agent. Nobody signed him yet. Might be a good get for the Yankees. Still a freaking free agent. Who hits more home runs this year? Judge, I think it's going to be Stanton first, Judge second, Gallo third, but I think they'll all be around 40. DJ's going to lead off because IKF doesn't draw. You don't need to draw walks. You can hit. He's got more hits than anybody on the team. So keep this in mind. He's coming in with 171 base hits. That was more than any Yankee player had on the team, okay, including DJ. He also is coming in with 20-plus stolen bases annually, more stolen bases than anybody has on the team. Just keep this in mind. I paint the scenario. Let's just say he hits a single and DJ hits a double. The chances of kind of Leffer scoring are really high. Flip that. If DJ walks or gets a single and Kenneth Lefler hits a double, chances are DJ who's going to stay at third. That's one less run that they could manufacture right there, Christopher Woods. It's just my way of thinking about it, but they might lead off DJ. You could be right. I want to maximize the position, the ability to score early. And that's another thing. The Yankees have fallen into too many holes early in games, and it's been struggle to get out. I want to, kind of get ahead and take advantage of that type of stuff for them to get ahead of games instead of falling behind. So, again, that's just how I would do it, though. That's how I would do it. I've actually gotten a lot of flack for that. People thinking trying to maximize the at-bats for Judge and some of these other guys, but if they get hurt, the bigger guys, it's going to be much more of a blow to the team than someone who's not a Judge getting hurt. So that's the way I look at it. So Torres and DJ are not that fast. Yes, kind of Falefa is a base running threat. He's got the most stolen bases. He's a good base runner. So and he's a balls out hustle player, and that's to me. That's something to be said. So I would be taking advantage of that type of stuff. So that's why I want a guy like that at the top. Kind of like our Homer Bush, who was a all balls to the wall hustle guy. Kind of Falefa is the same exact way. He's a decent hitter too. Blake Trine and the Dodgers. Aroldis Chapman might be moved over there to the Dodgers. That's a possibility. So. Toronto, yeah, it was pretty good beat up tonight. But again, a lot of players who are not starting playing for the team, so both sides. On base percentage taken into consideration, hits and walking. His average and hits are higher. We get on base less than anyone else. If IKF can walk more, then he will be a good left. He'll walk more. I'm confident in that. But again, his hits more than DJ, so more than anybody else on the team. That alone and his speed is why I'd put him at the top. And again, he's the best base runner on the team right now. I want somebody like that at the top of the lineup, in my opinion, Joey and Nelly. And I'm confident he'll walk more. That's something I think they're going to work on. With Dylan Lawson. So Dylan Lawson is going to bring a nice, different dynamic to this lineup. Don't get so fixated on the on-base percentage, guys. He's working on discipline already. More hits than anybody else on this team means something. That means something. So he had 170 plus hits last year. Nobody in the Yankees had that. Not one player. So, and he steals a lot of bases. So when he gets on base, with his hits, he steals bases. So no one on the team right now does that either. That's an important player to me to have at the top. People keep bringing up his on-base percentage. Look, there's no on-base percentage monsters on this team. None of them are on-base percentage monsters. But why would I bat him 7th or something like that? It doesn't make any sense to me to bat him 7th. How many contact hitters does this team have? One. Yeah, a couple. A couple, Darryl. Not a lot. You're right about that. Kind of Falefa is a contact. Marvin Gonzalez is a good contact. Ender's a good contact if he makes the team. DJ's a good contact hitter. So, but two definites, Darryl Leon. That's another reason why I would bet them 1-2. I would have the contact hitters up top, and then you have the big bats behind them, like 4 or 5 of them in a row. So that's kind of how I would look at it, because it maximizes their ability of scoring a lot of runs on a regular basis instead of batting kind of Falefa 7th. And if he does get a hit, he has nobody to drive in or whatever or something like that. It doesn't maximize to me the ability of the lineup to score on a regular basis. So score more often. But again, people have different opinions than I do. And it is what it is. We'll see. This is my double leading, so things are knocking some in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lack of starting pitching concerns. Yes, Raymond P, 100%. They need another starting pitcher. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. I've been saying it for months. So have a lot of other people. But, and the people that do say it, they're right. Hawaiian hustle all day, baby. All day. We're approaching 100 likes. We got 120. 77 likes. Let's get over 100, guys. It's definitely helpful. It's definitely helpful to the channel. It's greatly appreciated too. You want a guy like IKF near the bottom to get on base and turn the lineup over for the big guns. That's exactly what he would be doing at the top of the lineup. You'd be getting him more at-bats from him if he's batting at the top than if he's batting at the bottom. That's the same logic people use for the judge. They want to maximize his at-bats. Why would you put a guy like that in the bottom when you can have him at the top and set up the big guns? If you bat him at 7th, you still have to go through 8 and 9 and 1 just to get to the big guns. So there's 2 or 3 guys before him just to get to the big guns. I would bat him right at the front, right at the top. Set up the big guns early instead of waiting through the whole lineup to set the big, because you're waiting more times to set up the big bats if you bat them at the bottom of the lineup. I get what you're saying, Eric, but that's my logic too. So table setters at the top of the lineup tend to make bigger difference than table setters at the bottom of the lineup. But that's also the reason why they need better bench depth too. So Kyle, what's happening, man? So, but I appreciate everybody's perspective on this because it helps me think too. So. During Ruth's day, Hall of Famer Earl Combs was leadoff hitter. During the 1940s and 50s, Hall of Famer Phil Rizzuto was the Yankees leadoff hitter. That's good intel. That's good. I like that. Rizzo's a great contact hitter. Trade Gallo for a contact hitter. I mean, you could if somebody would take him, but we'll see. He's got to be hitting first. But yeah, Rizzo's a good contact hitter who can also hit for power. So, like, to me, Donaldson's more power than contact. That's why I bat him at 4th. To me, Rizzo's more contact. That's why I bat him at 6th instead of 4th. And he's kind of the equalizer right in the middle of the lineup to set up the guys behind him. So you could easily move Rizzo up too and Donaldson down. So 9th, yeah, I would bat him first only because, you have to. I'd rather see him immediately and rather than having to wait for 8 guys and then have to see him. So there's a chance you might not see him until the 3rd inning. Christopher, the Yankees don't do much, so. And then he might get 2 at-bats, maybe 3. If he's leading off, he might get 4. That, to me, is a better situation for kind of Falefa. And again, he's going to be surrounded by a better lineup now instead of being in Texas, so I think his approach will be different. 180 likes would be awesome, Dominic, man. We're at 90 now. We're approaching 100. We're usually at, between 200 and 300 likes, so we'll see if we get there. I won't keep you. You might cap it at like 11 or 11:15, so we're not staying on forever. But this is good. This is good conversation here. Like the lineup prediction. I like to listen to everybody else's perspective because, again, it just helps me think a little bit differently. Maybe some of you folks are making better sense. So, because I'm not all knowing. Just because people disagree with me doesn't make them wrong. So I like to hear other ideas. No doubt about it, Hirsch. Exactly the COVID. Exactly. Gallo back up. Arthur, no, it's probably if it's in the 28 man, it's probably DJ Arthur. But then they have this guy Ronald Guzman too, who could be a solid first baseman too. And keep it. Chris, I appreciate it, man. It's to me it's just more practical. So. I get called old-fashioned. I get called, like demented on other people's channels when I say that. But whatever, it's fine. But they have Ronald Guzman. Keep in mind too, and I'm not exactly sure if Rizzo's vaccinated or not. But when they go to Toronto, he's not going to be able to play if he's not. So a guy like Ronald Guzman's going to come in handy. It's a lefty bat. He's got big power, and that might happen. They might have to. I don't know. They might have to send Rizzo down for a couple days. And they'll call him back up, or send someone else down and call Guzman up. I don't know how they would do it, but they're going to need somebody unless they plan on playing DJ at first base in Toronto. So, yeah, Gallo draws a lot of walks. He strikes out a lot. I think they'll improve with that a little bit, Fritz. So, but he's a 3-dimensional, right? Home run, strikeout, or walk. And I want a guy like that at the bottom of the lineup. Instead of kind of Falefa, who will get on base more often than Gallo would. The Yankees managed to sign Verlander away from Houston. It would have been different, Michael. That's for sure. That's for sure. Gallo should bet 7-3. Yeah, I've got him in the bottom third of the lineup just to minimize the pressure too, but have somebody who can drive in runs at the bottom of that lineup with power. And he to me is a good like number 7 guy here. So, and I think he will have a better year with the Yankees. So, and he doesn't have a great on base percentage, but yeah, 7-3 to me is ideal for him. Guzman reminds me of Jorge Vasquez. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, I remember him, Hirsch. Yeah, exactly, Dominic. If Higashioka does his thing and look at his minor league stats. The more he plays, the more he produces. So he'll be fine. Even taking 2/3 of the games, and then maybe Rortvedt taking the other third or whatever it is. If it's him and Rortvedt platooning, and the Yankees did say they were going to do that, and now you have pitchers that you have catchers that all the pitchers want to throw to. That alone is going to make a difference. Better defense behind the plate, better plate discipline. You have one righty, one lefty. And I think this is going to bring a different dynamic to the team. But at the end of the day, it's going to benefit the pitchers more than anything. And whatever we get from those offense will be fine. And Higashioka, he's got pop. He's got 4 homers this spring already. So it shows when he plays regularly, he hits. Elvis. So I got my evening water in my Yankees cup. Got to represent. Rocking the Coltrane T-shirt, supporting my man Garrett Cole. So, 4-man bench. Yeah, I think it would be wise to go to 4-man bench, Peter, at this point. So, I do think that would be wise to do that. Greg Burns, Greg Burns seems to be playing well. But I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he'll make. Yeah, I mean, he could be the backup first baseman. He could be / DH or whatnot. So, but they have a star-studded lineup. Peter, what's happening, man? All good over here, man. I hope you're doing well, too. We are 2 under 100. We almost had 100 likes, guys. I appreciate it. Rortvedt, dude is a Hulk, man. He's a Hulk. But he's a gifted defensive catcher, so that's something that the Yankees haven't had in a while. And I think that's going to bring in the tangible they don't have, what they need. So, yeah, Shelby Miller. My guess is they'll stash him in AAA until he kind of does his thing, and then he might come in for spot starting, late relief if he keeps progressing and stuff like that. So you never know. Gallo's the ultimate warrior. Yeah, with a sense of humor. He's pretty funny, actually, Gallo. He's pretty funny. Pete Rose mocked Gallo, saying how he strikes out them. Everybody has their thing. At least Gallo admits it. He strikes out a lot, he walks a lot, he hits a lot of home runs. That's who he is, And he's an elite defender in the outfield. So, Warren is the reliever version. That's a good analogy, actually, Tyler. I like that, Tyler. Warren is the reliever version of Brett Gardner. I like that. Appreciate it, Toby. Thank you, man. Gotta rock the Coltrane, man. Wait till you see the next T-shirt I have. I'm waiting for it to come. I hope it comes before Saturday's live stream. I think you'll dig it. I think you'll really dig it. So, I'm really hoping it gets you. If I had an ultimatum between I can't kind of Falefa and Gallo, who goes? Gallo. Kind of Falefa serves different needs than Gallo. We have, I think, a greater need for kind of Falefa at this point. But I like both. I'd rather keep both. But if I had to pick one, it would be kind of Falefa to stay. I've seen in a couple of season statistical predictions for Gallo 37. Yeah, I could see it, Chris. I could see it. I can definitely see that. A full season here with the Yankees playing 81 games in that stadium. Oh yeah, I could see it. I'm with you, Billy Branch. I'm just glad they're playing ball, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree too. I think they're going to be sneaky good, Billy. Better than some people think. I don't buy the 4th place thing that so many people are saying. So, I don't know who started the movement, but it's going around somewhere. This 4th place team movement thing. But Toronto could be the 4th. We don't know. Tampa could be 4th place. It's a point of being productive and staying healthy. So teams have to do both. Definitely when Gallo was Mike. So, yeah, that was pretty funny, Christopher. He's funny. He's funny. Marwin's. I like that Swiss Army knife. That's a great analogy too. Abe Brunson. He's going to be the Swiss Army knife for the Yankees. Yeah, I wanted him quite a few years ago, but I would love to have 27-year-old Marvin Gonzalez, but I'm glad we have 33-year-olds. I just hope he stays healthy and produces if he makes the team. So Joey Gallo, one sacrifice flying 7 years. That's an interesting stat, Captain Midnight. Damn, that's pretty crazy. Daryl, the ingredients are different, man. Ingredients are different. He's got a better team to manage now. A more focused team, it looks like they're more locked in. I think with some new coaches in here, they're going to be less likely to accept some of the laziness and mediocrity. That's one of the things they got. They moved some of that laziness out of here with Sanchez and stuff. And if they move Torres, those are the two most kind of mentally kind of unfocused players that the team had in a while. And it changed. And that's why you bring in guys like Josh Donaldson. Even though he's older, he lights a fire under the asses of his teammates. And that's necessary for a team like this. So I salute you, Fritz. I think that's a good thing. Manny's in the house. What's good, man? Manny Rondon. With Story, Trevor Story, he'll be solid, but he'll strike out a lot too. Yankee King, the LI Yankee King started the. Yeah, I don't know where he got it from. I must follow somebody who was just peddling that stuff all the time, but he's no longer on this channel, so he won't be peddling his propaganda here. He can go do that elsewhere. Boston has a great lineup, not much pitching. Exactly, Tyler. They're down on the pitching. and they've even moved on from Hunter Renfroe. They traded him to the Brewers, so they're down his offense too, but they still have a good lineup. Verdugo, they're good. Devers, JD, Story. Now they got plenty. Yeah, they added offense. Well, they swapped out offense. Hunter Renfroe to Trevor Story, so Boston. And Donaldson is Will Smith and Boone is. Oh, man. Oh, God, yeah. What a crazy situation. Like, if 5 of the 8 guys in the lineup who could have been great, yes, do so. Yankees have won 100 games, no doubt. Guys like JD, AJ, Stanton, Gallows, okay. Yeah, and I have a feeling the Yankees are going to be better than people think, Peter. So I could see something like that happen. Shortstop, nothing really. They're just getting him out there, getting reps in and stuff like that, and giving guys a rest and, checking him at shortstop. So just getting him some reps in. More victory for the Yankees. Finished better than the Red Sox, but that's not going to cut it for me. Yeah, it's got to be more of a performance victory this year, Brunson. Yankees, Boston rivalries. I think so. I think so. Tampa too. I think so. Yeah, Correa, I'm not sure the dynamic would have been the same. So I think they did the right thing. Make excuses for the Yankees, Kenneth. What excuses are you talking about? I'm confident in this team. And people are bashing the team in spring training. So many people like to bash the team just because other people are bashing the team. So what excuses am I making? I'm confident in what they have. And just because they don't make all the big splashes, they can't do that every year anyway. But like people are peddling this nonsense that because they didn't bring in Correa and all these other guys, that they're a 4th place team with no merit behind this stuff. Big boy, I'm working on that logo and merch. So I'm thinking of I'm working on some different kind of ideas, and I'm going to get it trademarked. So I will put out like some stuff so that you guys can look at it and tell me what you like. I'm thinking of a skull cap, a baseball cap, a T-shirt, maybe a hoodie, maybe like a mug or something to put your beer in or whatever. A few different things to start out with, and then. But I'm looking at the 161, kind of the layout and the font, and I have a couple different ideas. So I'm talking to some designer folks to get some more insight to see what's going to pop the best. But I'll definitely be putting it out in the near future, big boy, and to get your feedback. And I want to know what you guys and gals like, and then that's the type of merch I'll put out initially. So it's in the works already, big boy. It's in the works, baby. The trolls never stop. Bronx, yeah. Put him in a fucking bathroom. I don't want your face looking. Put him in a bathroom. That's the best scene from that movie. Dominic. The best freaking scene at all. John, tell me coffee cakes? Frankie coffee? No. In the bathroom. Come on. It's the best. Got to put this guy in the bathroom, man. And my moderators are not here tonight, but it's all good. Padres open the trading from rotation and catching them. If they are, Cashman would be wise to call them. He would be wise to call them, Michael. Well, it's crazy because the trolls make some comment, right, Dominic, and then I call them out or ask, and then I never get a decent response from them. So, like, they just say something and they can't back it up with any type of facts. So, but that's what trolls do. That's what propaganda peddlers do. So, happens all the time. Whatever. Ask any Ranger fan how getting a big free agent got them to the World Series when Tom Hicks paid $250 million for A-Rod. Exactly, Billy. And now they got all these guys. It's not going to guarantee them a World Series. Just like the Mets are not going to be guaranteed a World Series with all this money they spent. It just doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen. What made me want to do YouTube content? I appreciate that, Heedy. I mean, I love baseball. I love talking baseball. So I've seen some other channels that I enjoyed. So I just kind of wanted to start something of my own and never thought it would catch on, to be honest with you. And I'm glad that it has, and I'm glad a lot of people like the content, so I want to continue putting out stuff that people enjoy and just keep it authentic. Nothing flashy, nothing, like this isn't about me. This is about you guys. So, and that's the kind of the way I keep it. I'm not here to talk about myself, how other people do that. I'm not here to do that. So I just want people to enjoy the content and come back for more, and then we can get live, man. We can, we have some fun on the live streams and talk about stuff and just be straight up with straight up with each other. That's kind of what got me into it, Heedy. So, and again, it gives me more people to talk Yankee baseball with, all of you guys and gals, and I love it. So I love having you all on. So that's what kind of brought me to do it. So, and again, I never thought I would get to 10,000 subscribers. So I never really did, honestly. So now I'm going to shoot for 20,000, and we'll see what happens. So, and the more people, the better. We get to talk to. Baseball's awesome. The Yankees. I love the Yankees. So, Dominic Davis, thank you, man. Tommy, welcome, bud. Tommy, he loves it. I appreciate that, man. Dominic and Tommy. All right, the dynamic duo, the Davis boys. I love it. More than welcome, guys. Welcome, Tommy. I wanted Ray too. Tanaka, yeah. I wish I can go back to like 28-year-old Tanaka again. Oh, well. Paraphrase it, Freeman Sherman coach. The ball's round, the game lasts 9 innings, the rest is theory. Well, that's a good – I like that, Eric. That's really good. This team is not a championship team. They didn't address all their issues. Starting pitching, yeah, Kenneth. I mean, they need starting pitching. And again, on paper, means nothing. Means absolutely. The Texas Rangers aren't a championship team. So I don't even know if the Mets are a championship team with all the spending they did. But again, on paper means nothing. The World Series is not one in the offseason. These guys got to stay healthy. They need to gel together. They need to perform. They need to be consistent. So they got to figure out how to make it work. And but I totally get what you're saying. I agree with you 100%, Kenneth. They need another starting pitcher. At least one starting pitcher. Chris Paddock or Joe. If they could, Michael, I would definitely be considering something like that. I would even Blake Snell. So I think the Yankees are top 10 in everything, Chris. I'm with you there too. Top 10 lineup, rotation, and bullpen. So that to me, that's a good start. Ray would have been a perfect number 2. I agree. I hope he's consistent now. I don't know if he's going to continue to be as good with this other team. We'll see, because that was kind of a fluke year last year. But he's known for his high strikeout rate and good stuff. So, Heedy, thank you so very much, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to continue to put out the content, man. Thank you for the generous donor, man. I appreciate that, my man. It's much appreciated. Thank you, sir. I'm going to continue putting out. I'm going to be consistent, and all through the season. And obviously, I'm going to keep you updated on any news, on anyone and anything. So that's another place why I take pride in this channel, because I want to get you guys in the loop with everything, particularly with the Yankees. So Might not be a championship caliber on paper, Tyler. I agree with you there, but definitely not a fourth place team. But they can make a run. Again, teams make a run in the Braves. I didn't think were the championship team last year, but they got hot at the right time and they ran the table on everybody in the playoffs. So, and they gotten better this offseason, the Braves. So, I'd be still looking out for them to repeat. I think they are looking at pitchers right now, Christopher. I just don't know if they're going to bring one in. But yeah, I mean, it would be wise if they did before opening day. So yeah, Tampa Bay. Well, Tampa Bay's their coach retired, Arians, and he actually retired from coaching. He's moving up to the front office. Todd Bowles took over as the new head coach. So, dude, Heedy, thank you again, man. It's way too generous, but I appreciate that, man. I appreciate all donos, I mean, no matter how much they are, man. So people don't not obligated to support the channel financially, but I appreciate it when they do. It's just makes me want to continue to put out good stuff and to continue to be better. So thank you again. I appreciate that, man. And I appreciate that you watch all my stuff too. So it's nice to know that the stuff I put out, makes a difference for people. So it's nice. So, and I thank you all for that. So all yous. And I do agree Robbie Ray would have been great here as a number 2. So one way or another, I hope he stays healthy too. And those strikeouts would have been nice here. But to go with Cole, two power arms at the top of the line, at the top of the rotation. Yeah. If Severino had the ability to stay healthy, I'd feel better about him, but I'm not confident in his ability to stay healthy right now. So it's just, he throws much harder than Robbie Ray, but he gets hurt on the regular. He hasn't had a full season since 2018, so that worries me. But again, one last thank you to you, Heedy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Cheers to you. Yeah, he's known for his strikeout. He's the highest K per 9 innings in baseball history, actually, Tyler, which is nuts, but it's underrated. It's underrated you wouldn't expect it from him, but it's true. So I agree too, Al. Better offensively and defensively. They're going to have more plate discipline, less strikeouts, better base running. So they're going to be better in a lot of the non-sexy stats. So, and I hope some of these guys, like you said, Hill, Davey, Schmidt, some of these other guys pan out in the pitching, whether it's long relief, rotation, or whatnot. I just hope they pan out and gives the Yankees just better depth. I think they'll have better depth this year than they had the last couple of years. So, and Billy, I appreciate it, man. I want as soon as what I do is I wait for breaking news to come out, and then I wait for it to get kind of corroborated by multiple sources, some of the most reliable sources, before I put it out. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes, but I try to get it immediately. Once I find out from a reliable source, I get it out immediately. So that's, I want the breaking news to actually be breaking news. And I know, during this free agency season, I was putting out 15 videos a day, 20. That's why I keep them at between 1 and 2 minutes, because I know there's a lot of news. So, and I want to overwhelm people with information. I want to get right to the point with the info, so you know exactly who's going where and when and blah, blah, blah. So I want to keep it accurate and just right to the point, so that it's, easier to digest a lot of information. But I appreciate that, Bill. I appreciate the kind words, man. I mean, I do think it should be accurate breaking news. So that's why I want to be as consistent as possible with that. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Breaking news to me is not the Yankees are interested in somebody. Everybody knows that already. Or the Yankees might get this person. That's not breaking news. I wait for the news to actually happen before I break it. So it has to be actual news. So, but Billy, I appreciate that, man. That's one reason I want to try to make myself different in my own way. So that's why I kind of do that. And I go into different elements. I don't care if it's snowing out. I'll go out there. If it's the only place I could do a video, I'll go out there. I don't care. Just weather. So I want you guys to get the good information and the accurate information, and period, no matter where I'm at. So thank you again for the kind words, Billy. Trippy Vons, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Welcome, Trippy. Welcome to the 161, man. We're keeping it. Yeah, I don't like to infuse politics in baseball. It just doesn't make sense. I know some people like to bring it up sometimes. A lot of them are trolls or from other channels who like to talk about politics or whatever. I try to keep it out of here. It's just too much of a toxic conversation, and I don't like propaganda. We're here to talk baseball, and more particularly the Yankees. So, and that's a hell of a lot more fun than talking politics. Politics to me is the business of hatred and ignorance and bigotry, and I don't see the point in talking about that stuff. So, but I appreciate those kind words, man. Nah, man, Tyler, exactly. I appreciate that, bro. I don't want John Heyman's way too inaccurate, way too often. I want to make sure it's corroborated by multiple sources before I put it out. So I don't want to look foolish. I don't want to look foolish regularly either. And if I'm wrong for something, I'll acknowledge when I'm wrong. So that's why I try to be as accurate as possible. Tyler, I appreciate that though. Myers or Hosmer doesn't fit us. No, I don't think either one's a fit here. A pitcher, yeah. I would not take Hosmer's contract just to get a pitcher. I mean, Myers got 1 year, but I don't think he'll be a fit here either. But Hosmer, forget about it. No way. Shane Schomer, I appreciate the donor, man. Thank you. Again, generosity is much appreciated. Mets fan here, but love your content. Welcome, Mets fan. Mets fans are welcome here too. So repping New York all the way, baby. You know, it's a Yankees channel. Mets fans are always welcome. You guys got a hell of a team this year. So my Yankees takes mostly from you. Keep up the good work. What do you make of the Mets Braves matchup? I think it's going to, man, I'll put it this way, Shane. I think the NL East right now is a three-headed monster, man, between the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves. They can go either way. I do like the pitching matchup with the Braves too, with that, just like Scherzer and DeGrom, those two up top versus, I mean, Charlie Morton and whoever is it, Fried? I think the guy's name is Fried, that lefty guy. The two top pitchers on the Braves versus the two top pitchers on the Mets, and I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I'll tell you that much. I do think the Mets. The Mets have an advantage a little bit over the lineup. It's just deeper. Shane, and I would not be surprised if the Mets won 100 games. Again, I always say, like, you could bring in everybody, it doesn't guarantee you anything, but the Mets have brought in a lot of the right guys, and that's different than bringing in the volume guys. And I got to give it to Cohen. He's showing that he's serious about winning, and he's bringing in guys like Scherzer, who's an absolute bulldog. He's going to rub off on the rotation, somebody to push DeGrom at the top, which is why I keep saying somebody to push Cole on the Yankee side would be ideal. Instead of Cole and then 2 miles apart from everybody else, we need somebody up here who can push him. And that's why I think that was a very wise move for them to bring in Scherzer, because him and DeGrom will go battle back and forth. And I think they're going to make each other better. And a lot of underrated moves with the bullpen, like Marte, like it's a lot of Eduardo Escobar. But in terms of, to answer your question, Shane, again, the Mets Braves matchup I think is going to be really, really great. I'm more fascinated with the Mets Phillies matchup because the Phillies bats against the Mets pitching. Because I do think the Phillies lineup itself is deeper than the Braves lineup, even though the Braves have Acuna back. So the lineup's going to be deeper. This is exactly what I mean. Like those three teams, man, it's going to be a three-headed monster, Shane. So I'm fascinated to see the Mets versus both those guys. The Nationals to a degree, but I think they're a little bit behind those three teams. And then the Marlins are kind of up and coming. Marlins need more offense, even though they brought in some guys. The Braves and the Phillies and the Mets, to me, are the showstoppers in the National League East. So, pinstripe phone case with your logo in the middle. Oh, I like that, big boy. Phone case for like iPhones. Talking about iPhones, big boy. That's a good idea. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the feedback. But again, Shane, thank you for that, man. And I like talking Mets baseball too, so all fans. I talk every team when anybody wants to talk other teams. Musgrove can probably be had for the same price they're willing to let him go. Musgrove and Snell will be the ones that fascinate me the most. And I agree with you, Tyler. I would not sleep on the Marlins. They did get better with their. They brought in a couple of bats. So Jorge Soler, they brought him in, and I forgot the other guy. I brought in another bat too. I'm drawing a blank on the name, but they did get better offensively, and they have a ridiculous pitching depth. So, they also brought in Jacob Stallings in a trade with the Pirates. So they actually have 3 more offensive players this offseason with Soler and Stallings and the other guy. Oh, God. There's another one. Oh, Avisail Garcia, Tyler. That's the one. Thank you. Avisail Garcia. So they added some offense, They still need more, but they added some offense. So, Alan, I appreciate that, man. I try to, politics is. There's other channels that like to just talk politics and propaganda. I like to keep it off here. Again, some people bring it up, and I appreciate everybody's freedom of speech and stuff, but as long as it doesn't get toxic and ridiculous, that's another reason why I've got moderators now who can kind of put that stuff to bed immediately when people start getting, because politics, and then you have people start to get disrespectful to people, they start insulting people. There's no place for that here. It's being a dick, but calling it keeping you real or whatever. That's baloney. That's baloney. Just call it what it is. You're being a dick. All right? And there's no need for that here on this channel. So, try to keep it, kosher to it. Well, I'll say try to keep it respectful to each other. People can vent and curse and stuff like that. That's fun. That stuff is fun. But like the rest of the stuff, let's just be cool with each other, man. I think Udo's probably baking a stack of pancakes. Yeah, Hirsch. He's a pancake guy, man, So my daughter loves pancakes. I'll ask her every morning, what do you want for breakfast, buddy? Pancakes. I want pancakes. Every day she wants pancakes. It's actually really cute, but we can't have pancakes every day. But so she's the pancake princess. The Padres have a nice depth. They got depth, man. They brought in so many starting pitchers over the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. So they have crazy depth. So I would rather have Marwin Gonzalez over Tyler Wade because Marwin's a better hitter. So, and he's got more experience. I like, Tyler Wade's speed and versatility. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have both, but if I had to choose between them, one would probably be Marwin. It's just a better contact hitter. And the Yankees need more of that. Can't go wrong. It's really hard to go wrong with pancakes. Or French toast is one of my favorites. So, Silver Dollar Mini IHOP, International House of Pancakes. They have these 10. They give you 10 Silver Dollar pancakes. They have like hot chocolate and with whipped cream on the side. My best friend Mike and I used to get them all the time. 10 Silver Dollar pancakes with chocolate, hot chocolate. Fantastic breakfast, man. Dominic and I love the Mafia too, man. I appreciate you guys. That's the goal, man. That's the goal, man. Real true to the course, and you listen. So I think it's important to listen to you guys. I don't like just to be hearing myself speak. And again, just because you might disagree with me doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong. You guys help me. You open up my eyes and give me a different perspective on stuff too. So I appreciate that kind feedback, Dominic. And that's the plan. That's why I like to do this on this channel, because everybody here is part of the Mafia. It's not just me and everybody else. Everybody's part of this family. So Wade swing like yeah. True Northwest. Yeah, dude. Northeast maple syrup. You have to rock the maple syrup, Sean. It's French toast with fresh croissants. Dude, I love croissants. I'm a croissant degenerate. My wife and I went to Paris a bunch of years ago. We stayed at this place called the Omni Hotel, and I had like 5 croissants every morning for breakfast. I was like a total degenerate. But if you want to try something, go to Trader Joe's if there's one near you. There's a box of chocolate croissants. You get 4 of them. Game changer. They will knock you on your ass. Mark, I promise you. That's my one promise. You will love the chocolate croissants. If you can find them from Trader Joe's, if there's a Trader Joe near you. Split decision, that's a good one too. Peanut butter pancakes. You guys are making me hungry too. Yeah, exactly. Now you got to put the Big Mac and the fries on there, right? Now you make me want to go get the Big Mac now, Dominic, and the apple pie. I'm not complaining. No, not complaining. Chocolate chip pancakes are fantastic too. Canadians don't need pancakes with maple syrup. Well, this is true, Eric. That's it. It's a good point. There's no Trader Joe's in Canada? Oh, man. I did not know that. Well, I'm sure you guys got some fantastic chocolate croissants. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Canada's got great food, man. The breakfast sausage and the maple syrup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a whole nother flavor profile, man. It's like it's a whole nother level. The sausage and the maple syrup. Like, I think we're all like chefs at heart because we talk a lot of food here. This is fantastic. So, and I think food and baseball like go hand in hand. So it's wonderful. Too much sugar free. Yeah, well, I would agree with that. I mean, I have to. I mean, I got to use the maple syrup, big boy. But I'm with you there too. Chicken parm. Ben Wells did look solid, man. 3 good, clean innings. He's been clean and consistent. He reminds me of Nestor Cortez. So we could essentially have like 2 Nestor Cortez on this team, which would not be a bad thing. And they both come from the lefty side, crafty lefties. So, you know, that's cool, man. You'll be at the stadium on the 24th. Who are they playing, Tyler? My favorite omelet, personally, I make it Hirsch. What I do is I saute white onions and mushrooms, and then I throw the eggs on it, and then I put in cheddar cheese, and I melt it, and kind of fold it over. And to me, it's cheddar cheese, mushrooms, and white omelet. I mean, white onions. I dip it in ketchup. Fantastic. Sausage McGriddles are fantastic. Grandma pizza. I'll try that. Yankees made a trade next 30 days. Opinion. I think it would be that it would have to be with the Cubs. I think it's the most likely trade partner right now, Trippy Vons, with the Cubs. Paddock has 3 years of control left on a contract. It's not. See, that's the type of pitcher. Like Michael. That's the type of guy. That's the only reason I mentioned Kyle Hendricks too, because he also has 2 years left with an option for a 3rd year. So he's another guy, a controllable pitcher. Like him or Chris Paddock would be ideal guys here because we'll get somebody for multiple years instead of a Sean Manaea who's got 1 year left. So, and I would rather pay a little bit more to get three years like a Paddock or a Hendricks. It just makes more sense, you know. It makes more sense. Baseball and food. Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. Opening day feast, no doubt about it, Sean. No doubt about it. Feels weird calling them guard. I know. Tyler. I gotta admit. I by default I still call them Indians. I have a hard time with it. It's gonna take me a while to get it right. The Guardians kind of move on from Indians. They've been Indians forever. So, and every time I watch Major Leagues, I kind of go back to my default. I watch the movie Major League, so I go back to the Indians. So, but yeah, Yankees. Well, I got to give it to Yankee Stadium, Allison. They have some better eats now, but they are expensive. But again, I generally go to baseball games. And I have hot dogs and a nice cold drink. You know, I eat the basic stuff. Or I'll bring a hero sandwich out from out somewhere else, and I'll just bring it in with me. I'm pretty straight. I don't stand on the line for the fancy. Like I'm not getting sushi from Yankee Stadium. Their chicken fingers and fries they're okay, but I'd rather get a baseball hot dog. So with some mustard and just I'm happy. I'm happy as hell, Allison. So I'm right with you there. Top Chef of the Fruit. Yeah, I watch that. I watch Beat Bobby Flay. I watch a bunch of them. A bunch of them. Yeah, critiques are always like I just watch them kind of learn because I'm the cook in my house, so I learn different ideas and things like that. So I like to cook a lot. So Kyle, crazy question. Is the catcher required to be behind the plate during pitches? I mean, theoretically, could a catcher shift to some on-field location to aid in defense? Pitcher throws to no one. And hypothetically, but that would add so much time to the game because there'd be nobody to catch the ball and they could just be back there. And if there's a runner on base, then the base runners are just going to advance bases. So that's something they would have to do with nobody on base. But I don't think the umpire would be very happy either. So because he's going to be standing behind the plate, and the umpire would. That's the only way he's going to be able to call strikes and balls. And it would make it much harder. But theoretically, Kyle, I'm guessing so. I don't know if there's a rule. To be honest with you, but I think the umpires probably put a stop to that one pretty quickly. That's an interesting question. It is kind of crazy, but it's interesting. Down south, steak, eggs, and pancakes. Yeah, yes, that's a nice meal right there. Like pulling a goalie in soccer. Yeah, you could, but yeah, I mean, only difference is the goalie. Obviously, I mean, once you score, you score. Like you have to get 3 strikes in order to get a guy out, kind of thing. So, but like, and the goal. I mean, obviously the net's huge. I mean, but I guess essentially you could. I just don't know. I don't know if they would want to. That would kind of make it nuts. But it's an interesting question. I actually want to do. I want to look into that, Kyle. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm curious now. Hopefully, Major League isn't banned from live TV. I hope not. Ben Wells, I could see make the team too. He could be one of these 2 extra roster spots. He could be. He really could be. What MLB park has the best fare? It's a good question. I haven't been to all of them, but I mean, Citi Field's got some pretty good food. I like Yankee Stadium food too. And again, I'm pretty like traditional when it comes to food. I'm not a no frills when I go to the game. I'm chilling with a hot dog. And Phillies, Citizens Bank Park, they have good food too. Cheesesteak sandwiches and all different types of things. They have really good food too. I've been to a couple. I've been to the Coors Field, but it was a while ago. Been to Diamondback Stadium a while ago. We went to Camden Yards. It's pretty decent food, but I like the Yankees, Citi Field, and Phillies. They have good food. Bringing in a sandwich, man. I mean, Yankee. If I'm not gonna eat a hot dog, like I'll bring in a hoagie. And I have 2 hoagies. I mean, mine's either turkey with Munster cheese, lettuce, and mustard, or roast beef, mozzarella cheese, lettuce, and mayo. Non-seeded rolls. I keep it simple. That's it. And I'll get a nice cold drink at the stadium. I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Yeah, chicken parm. They're kind of. I mean, they're going to be the Indians to me for a while. And the Redskins, the same thing. Yeah, what are they now? The Commanders. It's going to be hard to, you know, it's going to be hard. But Yankee by nature, yeah, I hear you, man. If you bring in a sandwich, it's like $7 or $8. I mean, that's, and it's huge. It's like the equivalent of like 4 hot dogs, which will cost you $30 at a game. So it's just a way of being definitely saving money, that's for sure. And you can go to like CBS and get a thing of peanut M&Ms for $1.50 instead of $6 at the game, or Raisinets or whatever you like. So ideas to get more young people into baseball. I'm the only one in my friend group that likes. You know what I would do, George Arganis? I would put a radar gun in some of the stadiums. When I took my mom to Yankees spring training. They had a radar gun, and I actually did it. And there were a whole bunch of people on that line. It was a way of getting a lot of young people around there, interesting and stuff like that. And some kids would go to the radar. I would go to more games if they know radar gun was there, especially like high school ball players or whatever. And obviously they need to lower the price in some of the tickets too, as a way of getting people in there to make it more affordable. But I think a radar machine in more stadiums would be a lot of fun. Because generally the people who want to go, either baseball fanatics or baseball players who are fanatics too. And again, there were a lot of people around that radar gun there. And I actually got second. I was leading most of the game, and then somebody threw a faster pitch than I did, and I lost. That would have been pretty cool. I would have won a prize, but oh well. Other stadiums I've been to, I've been to Camden, I've been to Coors Field, Citizen Banks, San Diego, Petco, Arizona Diamondbacks, Target in Minnesota with my wife. That was a pretty nice stadium. Very clean, very nice stadium. And while we were out there, we went to the Mall of America and all that stuff too. Fenway. Chicago White Sox. I've not been to Wrigley yet, and I'd like to. Gotta think of where else. I think that might be it in terms of stadiums. I think. Joe West needs Atkins. Oh, shit. The moment an intentional ball leaves the pitcher's hand, the catcher must have both feet in the catcher's box. Actually, Eric, that's a good point. Some obscure rules. I should know the answer to your C question. I believe there's a rule. The C is the only player in foul territory when a pitch is delivered. Yes, these are some obscure baseball rules. Ballpark sushi, Allison. No, I don't blame him. I mean, I'm spoiled too. Like being from New York, like I've had some of the best sushi out there. Nobu, Morimoto, and it's really hard to beat those types of sushis. There's a little place in Queens called Mickey's. It's got like it's like a hole in the wall place, but some of the best sushi you'll ever have in your life, aside from going to Japan and getting it there. And So, that would be remove user. And get all these trolls out here now. Yeah. Get these guys out of here. Deleted, yes. Some trollers now. Yankees have a better chance of hitting Justin Bieber than Shane Bieber. Yeah, maybe. I hear that, Billy. I mean, Fenway was pretty cool. My wife actually and I did a tour of the park, and that was pretty neat. Sat on the Green Monster, and I actually wore Yankee stuff there, and I was surprised I didn't get attacked or beat up or anything, or or harassed. I got harassed in Philly during the World Series more than I did at Fenway. So, but yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's just old. It's an old stadium, but I could see why it's so. The fans are so rabid and not that kind of old school, authentic. So a lot of good food around there. I'll tell you that much. I went to a few games. The old Tiger Stadium. Oh man, the old Tiger Stadium in Cecil Field. They used to hit those home runs out of the stadium. Put chicken parm, fantastic. No, but Billy, I'm with you, man. Trop. I have not been to the Trop. Christopher Woods, have a great night. I'm going to wrap it up shortly too, guys. Canada apologizes for teriyaki food. Oh, teriyaki is fantastic. Me and JT, no, I'm from Manhattan. Not Long Island. New York City, baby. New York City. Midtown West. Jim Carrey, one of the best, one of the most famous Canadians. Funniest Canadians. He's crazy. He's hilarious, Jim Carrey. 30 ballparks in 30 days. I would love to do that, big. But I also want to go to Yankees fantasy camp. And I'll tell you this: if I ever get a chance to go to Yankees fantasy camp, I'll be streaming that whole thing on my channel. You'll get so much in, and I would plan to meet so many people. I would have them all on the channel. So that's something I definitely want to do for this channel. Is go to Yankees fantasy camp and experience that, and bring a lot of those folks on here to share in the experience and be honorary members of the 161. That would be dope. Experience going to Fenway, Yankee jersey. I'm telling you, big boy, it's fun, man. And you got dude, Yankee fans, we're hardened to the point. We can handle that stuff. But big boy, it's fun, man. It's fun. I'll tell you that much. What's my favorite pizza place in the Bronx? My favorite pizza places are in Brooklyn and Manhattan, actually. There's some little holes in the walls in the Bronx, which I love. I don't think I've been to a pizza place in New York City anywhere in any of the boroughs that I don't like. And I just eat plain pizza. I don't put anything on it. And I love pizza. I love pizza from New York even more. And I haven't met one. I'm trying to think of some of the names in the Bronx, Dominic. It'll come to me. It might not come to me tonight, but it'll definitely come to me. But I love New York pizza, man. Jackson. Hey, Jackson Yellen, what's happening, man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the 161. I hope you have enjoyed enough to come back, man. But welcome. Don't want to do a Kramer didn't Seinfeld smack a legendary. No, no doubt about it, Billy. Yeah, man. Well, big boy, you let me know. Maybe I'll go with you. And Philly used to have I think it's the Eagles. They used to have a jail inside the stadium down below. So when there was fights and all this stuff, they would go right down there and put people in jail. It was nuts. I don't know if the new football stadium has it, but they have the Gestapo, where it's essentially these ex-military guys and all these guys, so that if something happens and there's a fight, one of the security guys presses a button, and you have this mob of guys just come and they take care of business real quick. One of the guys that I teach martial arts with is security there, and he tells me all about it, and it's pretty dope. It's like getting mobbed by a Secret Service, which is they take care of it like that to make sure things don't get out of hand. But pretty hardcore. And there's hardcore fans in Philly, just like there are hardcore fans in Boston and New York and Chicago. I think those are the four most hardcore fan bases, man, in my opinion. Vernon Wells was at the games. Yeah, he spent like half the game on the Toronto side, and they came over to the Yankees side. I did see that. Green Monster seats were fun. It's big boy. It's a pretty cool sight to see. Three Boys Pizza on Burke Avenue as well. I'll try that. No doubt about it. Burke Avenue, is that near a concourse? Dominic? How far is that from Grand Concourse? Half Moon Pizzeria on Arthur Ave. Half Moon, I remember. They have good pizza. What is Yankee Stadium ranked in attendance in games? That's a good question, secondhand, nice. They're up there. They're up there. They're definitely up there. Especially when they play the big teams. They're packed. So, have I ever had Sbarro? I had Sbarro, but it's not the best in New York. Hey, Yankee Brain, you're funny, dude. John's on Bleecker. Great pizza. I'll try that too. I mean, Ray's Pizza is a well-known one. If any of you guys are foodies, check out Mark Wines if you haven't seen him. Mark, Weins. He's a foodie guy, and he goes all over the world and tries their food. And this is what he does. He's got millions of subscribers on YouTube, and he does them in New York. He's been to all these places. He's done pizza stuff. He's done all these types of things, and he's tried the best pizza in New York. One place I think in Manhattan, one in Brooklyn. Check him out. He's a lot of fun. And I get actually a lot of my places that I want to try from him. And it's very, very informative. Mark Wines. It's called Migrationology. Below average pizza in Seattle. Ben, what is Seattle known for, food-wise, Ben? Born and raised in NYC, but this past June moved to Pennsylvania. Went to my first Phillies game last season, but nothing beats nothing beats Yankee Stadium, JT, especially the older Yankee Stadium, the one that ended in 2008. That stadium was special, man. It was beyond special. Best pizza and bagels. Oh God, yeah, especially H&H. H&H is a fantastic bagels. Yankees have signed Will Smith to bring an attitude to the clubhouse. Will Smith? I think actor. I'm thinking of the baseball player. Yeah, that's a good one, Tyler. That's a good one, bro. Sally's a Pizza, New Haven. My wife and I like Mystic Pizza too. It's like a unique type of pizza too. We like Connecticut. Seattle puts cream cheese on hot. What? Cream cheese on hot dogs? I've never heard of that, actually. Yeah, the actor. It took me a second, Tyler. I'm still trying to get over this cream cheese on a hot dog thing. What in the hell is that? Holy cow! Okay, I'm gonna have to try this because I try it out of ordinary type of stuff. So, for those people that know me on here, I did it before, and I'll do it again. Marwin, DJ, Workfit, and Ciarte. That to me, cheesemaker is most likely the bench. DJ / Glaber. Whichever one starts, the other one sits. So, my wife and I had breakfast at the Pershing Square Cafe across from Grand Central Station. I could write a short story about how that experience is how restaurants in New York City don't play. You got that right, Billy. They don't play. New York City means business, Billy Branch. And it's one of the things that, you learn about it pretty quickly in New York City. You also understand, where you stand with people too. So there's not a lot of phoniness in New York City. So you'll know whether people like you or don't pretty quickly. And that's one of the things I appreciate about it. Most of the people in New York get a bad rap because of a couple of bad eggs. Most people in New York are very, very nice, actually. Cream cheese and jalapenos and hot dogs. It's called a Seattle dog. What are we experiencing here, Ben Meyer? Is that good? Cream cheese and jalapenos on hot dogs. Oh my God. That's some interesting food, Ben, I gotta say. That's really interesting. Do you like it? It was revealed by Michael Conforto that's not signed by Scott Boras. Conforto suffered a shoulder injury in January, which delayed negotiations with teams. Michael, I did not know that. I just hear Boras saying that the interest in him is through the roof, which confuses me. So I didn't know that, so I appreciate you sharing that. Silverdale, Washington, they have an awesome two-layer pizza. 2-layer pizza. I like layer. I mean, I like type of stuff. I generally do plain pizza or plain Sicilian, but I'm open to try different things too. I traded for Will Smith to catch it. Cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, the Dodgers, Tyler? Yeah. Yeah. And they even had Diego Cartaya, the number 1 prospect, as a catcher too. Kind of waiting in the wings. Padres will trade Paddock so they can sign Conforto. I hope they trade Paddock to the Yankees. Michael, that would be fantastic. I mean, it really would be. Cream cheese with bologna, it works. Dominic, you have? Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. I do like work. I'll try it, Dominic. I mean, I will. I mean, I can't not try it now. I can't discriminate against interesting combinations. So, bullpen, Lasagna, Green, Holmes, Abreu, King, Chapman, Peralta, Rodriguez, Lipke, and Willows. Yeah, it could be something like that. That's deep. That's a deep bullpen cheesemaker. Boris called him the King of Queens. Yeah, he did. There's only one King of Queens, baby. Doug Heffernan. He's a Mets fan, by the way. Ever had a 2-layer or toppings in between crust and the top? I have not, Sean Browning. I have not. I must say I'm a novice when it comes to experimenting with pizza. I tried the original pizza from different places first to see how that goes, and I generally don't put toppings on the pizza. I generally don't, but I need to be more open to that. Williamsburg, Brooklyn has a lot of good. Oh God, yeah, they have my favorite steakhouse, Peter Luger. JT, is there a trade we can do with the Dodgers by trading Chapman? I don't know if we'd be able to get a starter for Chapman, Mark. I mean, we could add prospects with Chapman for a starter. That's possible, but Chapman I would look into. Actually, I don't. I would look at Gavin Lux because he's out of a position now and he's got a bunch of years of control. If we can get a starter, we'd have to add, a couple of good prospects to Chapman. I would try it. I would definitely try to. Mark Brown, thank you so much for the generous donut, man. I appreciate that. Jason, you have the best I'm opinion baseball and Yankees streams updates. I appreciate all the work. Mark, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm glad you come back for more. So I'm going to keep doing it. So, and again, I want to make sure everybody has a good time. This is, to me, it's like a party time for us. So, and but I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Just try to keep it fun, man. Kind of keep it authentic. We got a lot of good fans here. Everybody's knowledgeable, so we keep it going. And every now and then we tangent off into food and other things too. I don't see any problem with that. So, and if there's anything you want to talk about, Mark, bring it up, man. Bring it up. We're always open for some good conversation, man. But I thank you. Thank you again, man. Your generosity is appreciated, sir. So, cheers to you. Cheers. Kevin James is funny as hell. I saw him live stand up. He's funny as hell. He's really funny live. And I've seen a bunch of live. I saw Robin Williams live when he was alive. I saw George Lopez. I saw Martin Lawrence and You So Crazy tour with my parents. And it's fantastic. I love comedy. Jim Brewer, Trevor Noah, a lot of people. Chris Rock back in the day too. Paddock seems to be the odd man. Yeah, I mean, he could be. He could, and again, no reason why the Yankees could not capitalize on that. And if he's got 3 arbitration years before a free agency, that means he's not going to be that expensive. So it would be wise. It would be wise to go for him. Mark, thank you again, man. I appreciate you. Salami, Swiss cheese, and ketchup sandwich. Been eating it since I was 5. Salami, Swiss cheese, and ketchup. I honestly never got into Swiss cheese. I might have to try something that, if something will make me taste less of the feet smelling thing than Swiss cheese, I would try it. So if this helps, I'll give it a shot. Dominic, thank you, man. Try to keep it a good time, man. You get food, baseball. What is like? It's not much better than that. It's a great combo, man. Appreciate that, Dominic. We'll wrap it up shortly, by the way. You get another starter pitching prospects. We can get prospects for Chapman for sure. Again, if you add a good prospect to Chapman, there's a chance you might be able to pry one of those starters away from the Dodgers or the Padres, who could use another power reliever too. They could also use Chapman. Maybe Chapman can be added to a prospect or two for a Chris Paddock. That's possible too. Durham, yep. Kevin Kevin James would have pounded on Will Smith, man, if he smacked him. Scalco, he's hilarious too. He does look like Troy. He's nuts. He's nuts. Gabriel, he's another one. Yeah. Sean, I love it. The person to look at this year is Stanton. If Stanton's healthy, he's going to rake, and he looks pretty good right now. So he looks good. As long as he stays healthy and gets somewhat of a consistent outfield time, he is going to rake. No doubt about it. Chris, yeah. Have a great night, Chris. Cream cheese on a hot. I know a lot of people think the Big Mac and the apple pie thing is a bad idea, but once they try it, they're like, it's actually not that bad. So I have to be open-minded to try this hot dog and cream cheese thing. Can't wait to see Don. Neither can I, Mark Brown. Donnie, I'm just pining for the time. I'm waiting for the Donnie baseball documentary. I love Don Mattingly. Love Don Mattingly. Wait till you see the new shirt that I'm just waiting for it to come. I think you're going to dig it. It's a Don Mattingly inspired shirt, actually. So can't wait for it to come. Best stand-up comedy act only takes place in Flushing. Oh, JT. Shots fired. I love it. Yeah, he would have gotten Dominic. He would have gotten powerbombed, man. No doubt about it. Sam Kinnison's another one. I loved him in Back to School. If you haven't seen that movie, take a look at it. He's funny as hell in that. Plays like this nut job political science teacher, history teacher. Dude, he's nuts. Maniscalco's he's nuts too. He's really, really funny. He's really funny. I watch him a lot. He's got his own YouTube channel. You see a lot of stand-up bits for him. He's funny as hell. Rachel, yeah. Balkovic, yeah. I mean, she got hit in the face a couple days ago with a batted ball, like a line drive. So she's recovering now. But she's gonna make history. And opening day, she's the first female manager in baseball. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Say it! Yeah. Ronnie Dangerfield. Oh my God. Kinnison would have hacked. Oh my God, yeah. Kinnison would have flipped out on him too. I feel Aaron Hicks. I hope he has a big year, Mark Brown. I hope he stays healthy and play. He said he's looking to try to do a 30-30. So, I mean, if he could do that, I'd be really happy with that. I'd be really happy with that. My biggest worry is that he's not going to stay healthy. So, but I hope that he does. Because, again, if he's healthy and he's productive, his contract is an absolute steal. It's a bargain at $10 million per year. And I can't, if somebody like me saying $10 million a year is a bargain, it's like completely out of my universe, but it is in baseball standards if he's producing and staying healthy. So, because essentially guys are getting $20 million a year for that stuff. So, which is nuts, but it's just the reality of baseball. So, Ronnie Dangerfield's nuts. So is like Jackie Gleason, like from Honeymooners, and so many of these old school guys are fantastic. I mean, Back to School, if you haven't seen it, it's one of the most legendary movies ever. Goonie Goo Goo. Eddie Murphy, too. Oh, my God. Murphy. Hicks does have 3 years left, yeah. I mean, it's a concern if he can't stay healthy, obviously. So I hope that he stays healthy and productive. I really do. But yeah, if he needs 30-30 to get him kind of locked in and focus on something, do it, man. Do it. George Carlin's another one. He's very well spoken and he breaks down the facts, but makes in a comedy world. And he is genius. And rest in peace, man. I wish he was still around. I really do. Can I call you something? Yeah, no. Oh my God. Billy, good one, man. Richard Pryor, another one. See, if you haven't seen the movie Moving, take a look at that. He plays Arlo Pear. He's like an architect, and this craziness he goes through with his family, and they move to Idaho. Moving is a really funny movie with Richard Pryor. Yeah, that one's good, man. But let me wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, for the great baseball talk, for the great food talk, and the great comedy talk. This is fantastic. Don Rickles won't call Sinatra. Don Rickles, remember him in Casino? He was great in Casino. It's a corner from Captain Hal thinks it's happening. Yeah, I know. Hal and his cap is just... Brewster's Millions, another fantastic movie. Bill Murray's another one. See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Gene Wilder. Hey, what's happening, man? What's up, man? And they go to... It's hilarious, man. Buddy Hackett. Oh, are you talking Adam Sandler from Wedding Singer? It's like a young Don Johnson. He's like, I'm probably look like Buddy Hackett when he's talking to Drew Barrymore. Hirsch. This is the movie degenerate in me coming out, Hirsch. Buddy Hackett. That's like, I just saw Wedding Singer the other day, which is, I think, the only reason I can remember the Buddy Hackett comment. It's fantastic. How can you forget? You can't forget Caddyshack. Especially when they drop the chocolate in the pool and everybody thinks it's a turd. Oh, my God. Caddyshack is great. Caddyshack 2 is funny, too, but Caddyshack 1 is a classic. A classic. Wedding Singers, we love Wedding Singers, man. Your name's going to be Julia Gulia? Julia Gulia. Oh, my God. We're going to continue this. We'll get into some more comedy. Let's pivot from comedy to action movies on Saturday night. What do you think, guys? Mark, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Again, baseball, fun, food. This is what it's about, right? Party time here, baby. It's party time. So let's pivot, if you guys don't mind, to action movies on Saturday. All right. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for the donos and your company tonight. I appreciate all yous. Peace and love from me to you. Over and out.